It's like poetry, listening to poetry. And you still get that thrill when you see a completed house.
Yeah, I do. And there is that extraordinary poetic quality in great buildings and in the experience of great buildings and great design and in the story that people, follow when they go on this great big journey. So I think that's what probably makes it continue to be watchable after 20 years, is that we all watch it because we identify with that kind of extraordinary, that emotional heart.
Very emotional,
yeah. I mean, as you say, the journey, it doesn't matter whether you would be able to afford that property or,
even like it.
But it's just actually investing in the human endeavour that is involved, because I know certainly if it was me and my wife, we would have split up really by the end of all of that. We are the sort of people we'd like to buy off plan,
work, Kevin. I'd have done all the work. That's what.
I'm not going to comment at all.
But it is. We hate that word journey, but it really is for these people, and
we can call it an adventure,
months
can't we?
and years.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think that we're tested in the way that previous generations were.
Yeah.
We haven't gone through anything as depriving or as difficult as our parents or our grandparents did, say, with World War II. So I think that as a nation, there are very few experiences that we kind of recognise as being actually very, very trying, that we all agree that are difficult to get through. Brexit may be the next one, but meantime, that extraordinary experience of building, of making home, which is very primal.
Kevin, sometimes I remember watching one night, and there was an awful story that the man involved, there was a husband and wife team, and the man died, and the wife had to complete the project without him. And so often, this is not just a technical achievement, it is a massive emotional journey as well.
Absolutely. Emotional, spiritual, sometimes an intellectual one. But yeah, people go through absolute hell sometimes to get...
So when you started, there's 20 years it's been going, when it's extraordinary. When you started, what was the plan? We do 4 of these?
Yeah, we had 6. We had 6 to make, and we thought it would take a year. And the magical world of television, everything takes as long as you say it will. Because that's how long you've got the money to make it. That's how long you can run the office for. But it took 2 years, of course, to make the first series. So, in fact, we started 22 years ago. We didn't get to screen until 1999. And we thought that was it. I thought one surveyor and his dog would watch. And we're still here.
When I press Series Link, I get Grand Designs Australia or New Zealand or something as well.
And Sweden now as well. They do their own version.
Yeah.
I can only apologise.
I want to ask you a very practical question, because you will have seen these things evolving. I want to ask you about bathrooms, and I want to ask you about kitchens, right? So when people design their dream homes...
about that.
Yeah, great.
No, it's true. It's true. You see, my point is, people increasingly eat out. People don't need kitchens anymore, and yet you go to fit out a kitchen, it will be the most expensive part of your home. Do we need to be doing that? No,
given the fact that most of us refresh that room every 10 or 15 years. Certainly, when we buy a new home, we tend to refresh the kitchen or refresh the bathroom. It's kind of territorialising. It's primal. It's kind of, it's what animals do, They kind of scrub around the den to make it their own. That's how we do it. So I don't see the point of spending money in those places. I think we should spend the money in things like insulation and airtightness and high-quality construction. Those are the things that make the difference. And what are the changes that you've seen over those 20 years? I mean, more eco-friendly, I presume, a lot of the houses that the builds you're dealing with. Yeah, I think that's moved from being at the margins, if you like, to becoming more mainstream. And at the same time, we've seen, the inevitable rise of concrete floors and bifold windows, We just finished... Are you telling me you've gone off the bifold door? Because that's why I've got one, because I've seen it on your show. Don't tell me it's out of Have you really got bifold?
Have I got bifold
yes.
door?
And did they change your life?
Yes, because it
really?
is. Well, yes, I love it.
Did it change your life?
No, I think how many times have we had? We've had them open once in 2 years.
Thank you.
We have.
I would say 3 times in 2 years.
That's my point.
Well, that's only because of the weather.
As part of a complete revision, as part of something bigger, they can be great. Yeah, of course, but they're not the answer to everything. Concrete floors. We've just filmed a programme in the series because tonight's programme is the beginning of the next series, and we've got a guy who's wheelchair bound, and so he's put in a big concrete floor in his new ground floor, and that makes it absolutely flush and flat all the way through, inside to outside.
Oh, so you're pro concrete floors?
I'm in that sense.
Yes.
I think, they have a
and also as fire safety concrete floors.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it now weird when I go into someone's house and you go upstairs and the floor creaks, whatever, because it should all be concrete. What I can't stand is underfloor heating.
Can you not?
No, underfloor, if it is electric and it is a
Going to rent
switch in certain rooms, so you can walk in and you say, in this utility room or this bathroom, flick and it goes on and off. But when it has to heat, you know this to be the case.
It'll take about 2.5 days.
It takes 2.5 days.
But anyway,
To heat up or to heat down, because you see, you say anyway.
Well, because I'm a bit bored with this.
Well,
now.
you're not bored, because I'll tell you why you shouldn't be bored with this.
Too many
because
times.
this is the reason you don't watch Grand Designs and I do.
I
right?
do watch Grand
You don't
Design.
watch Grand Designs.
Oh.
And,
Okay, Ruth.
and the thing is, people are watching.
Such a fib.
You know,
I wanted to ask Kevin if
this
his
is what
favourite
people are
houses.
interested in, because I could spend my life going to show houses which you couldn't, and that's what people are interested in.
I was wanted to ask you about your favourite. I mean, it's hard over 20 years.
Listening to this,
But have you got?
Sorry, just to say, this
Can
is
you
like,
imagine us building a
this
house
is like
together?
a couple having a conversation about night storage heaters 30 years ago. Never
Yes,
mind.
dull.
Sorry.
Oh, how awful were they? Ghastly. They would suck all the oxygen in the air and the moisture out of a room. But
You've probably seen a documentary about it. Right, favourite builds in 20 years, difficult, I know, because they're so different, so diverse. Have you ones that really stick in your memory?
Not really. No, I mean, you know, they said to me, could you do 5? I said, no, I can do 50.
Yeah.
You know, because we've filmed about 180 projects. I said, do you know, there's so many different reasons why you choose a favourite one. You know, why it would be a favourite. The people, the director you work with, the crew, you know, the architect and the
local pub,
architect.
I hear, is very important to you.
Very, very important, because there's nothing more miserable than eating service station sandwiches in a site hut in December, right?
Yeah.
So that really puts you off a project.
When they started, Eamonn and Ruth thought they were building a house, but it ended up they were breaking a relationship. What they didn't know, you know, and you have that little monologue there at the end, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Well, it's sometimes summing up the building, sometimes summing up the people, trying to do both at the same time, and you've got 30 seconds to do it. And it's kind of, I used to write it down, but now I don't bother now. I just try and.
It does feel like it comes from the heart, and that it's genuinely what you feel about those people in their home.
It's got a big job to do, that piece to camera. It's got to tie the building together. And
well, my friend, here's to 20 more. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, thank you. I shall be hobbling around.
Kevin McCloud, Grand Design's 20th birthday. It's tonight, Channel 4, 9 o'clock.